Hi guys, it's Catherine here from Kate's Keto, and I want to give you some motivation. It's the 3rd of January. This is day 2 for me on the ketogenic diet, back on since the massive debauchery of Christmas and New Year. I ate a big kind of Christmassy meal on New Year's Day, and I had alcohol on New Year's night, but I also, in the lead up to that, I had several weeks of eating carbohydrates, refined carbohydrates, alcohol, blah, blah, blah. So yesterday I started back on the ketogenic diet, and I had some funky parts, where you getting resettled. Last night then, I am wearing a CGM, which I got on the 26th of December. I got it from Santi, but I started wearing it on the 26th of December at 5 p.m. I worked for 5 days on the ketogenic diet, and I literally was flatlined at 5.4 millimoles per liter in blood glucose. So literally I stayed absolutely 100% stable. I didn't really do intermittent fasting per se. I really just did keto. So I'm going to explain to you in a sec about intermittent fasting and the absolute value. If you're on weight loss, you must do intermittent fasting, but it takes a bit of time. So at the beginning, don't worry about it. Just wean off the carbs, wean out the carbs. So then New Year's Eve happened, and I had already decided I was going to have a few drinks, and I was going to have, I believe in celebrating. I don't mind having a few carbs then. So on New Year's Day, I had a lot of stuffing balls, ciabatta stuffing balls. It's this one from Tesco. I literally just mixed it with hot water. I didn't put too much effort into it. I had no potatoes, but I did have some bars of chocolate. I had a picnic bar and a snack bar, purple snack. We're big on purple snacks in Ireland. We're big on purple snacks. So, so I had a good bit of carbs, and then I had kind of poor sleep that night, and then I had Guinness. I normally drink organic red wine, which I never get a hangover. I think it's absolutely brilliant. But I drank Guinness, 2 pints of Guinness in the pub on New Year's Eve night. There was nobody out. They must be all gone somewhere else. But anyway, so the Guinness gave me a bit of a headache, but that's fine. There are different types of alcohol that will give you kind of a different response, even on keto, but it's much easier to recover quickly. I did take 2 paracetamol on New Year's Day. So anyway, it took a little bit of time for this is the interesting thing about the CGM, which I'm not going to continue. I've only 2 days left on this one. I'm not going to get any more because I don't really need to see. It's as I kind of predicted. So the CGM was a bit rocky on New Year's Day, at the end of New Year's Day. And then on the 2nd, which was yesterday, it was still kind of slightly up and down a little bit, but I found myself eating more often. I didn't do intermittent fasting, so I was kind of grazing. I was eating a handful of nuts, then I was eating something else, and I ate for like 12 or 14 hours salad, nibbly nibbles, but all keto. Now, this is the thing about keto. When you're starting off and you're coming out of carbs, you will not be able to just go, oh, I'll have 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day keto, and I will be able to intermittently fast. That's not going to happen. And if it does happen, you're not going to feel well. So you're going to have to accept at the beginning that you're going to eat more meals on keto meals. But what the important thing is that you're getting rid of the carbs. That is going to be impossibly hard. It's much easier for me because this is not the first time that I'm doing it. Plus, I'm very fat adapted. So my body swings between using the ingested glucose or the ingested food and using my own body fat. And this is the problem with most people who are insulin resistant. So when you have no food coming in, your body doesn't make a good switch to use your own body fat. So mine is very smooth, and even now it's quite good. It's actually, I'm struggling a tiny bit, but it's quite good. But for someone, if any of you are coming right out of carb eating and you're going into keto, the first few days will be incredibly difficult. You will have the keto flu. It is inevitable. Don't mind the bullshitters that will tell you that it doesn't exist. It does, because you are switching. Your body is struggling to learn how to use its insulin properly. So you are now coming off the carbs. So the most important thing for you to do in the next day or two is to just wean off the carbs Eat whatever you want, eat as often as you want, but do not eat refined carbs. Do not eat porridge. That's a refined carb. Don't eat brown bread. Don't eat anything that you think, bran flakes, you think that was healthy. They're all carbs. You're getting rid of all of that for the moment. For the moment. Later on, you can reintroduce some of that stuff. I don't. If I'm on keto, I'm on less than 5 grams of carbs a day, and those 5 grams of carbs are only from vegetables like Brussels sprouts. I don't even eat carrots, Brussels sprouts, rocket leaves, cauliflower. I don't eat much cauliflower and cheese, broccoli, that kind of stuff, cabbage, fermented vegetables. So they are actually considered carbs, but they have a high content of fiber. So that's very important. Now, I don't eat any fruit. When I'm on full keto, I eat zero fruit, and I'll tell you why in another video. So make sure that you are being very careful about weaning out the carbs. You have to get them out. You're going to fall off the wagon in the first few days. You're going to, because it's the blood sugar rush that you miss. It's the blood sugar rush that you miss. And I totally get that. I fell off the wagon a couple of times myself at the beginning, and that's okay. Allow for that. I think if you prepare for it, what I did was I made sure I had a boost bar, which is less than 20 grams. So even though I fell off the wagon, I made sure it was less than 20 grams of carbs, and it was a carb I liked. So the boost bar is less, it's one of the few bars that's less than 20 grams of carb. Of course, they're so small now. They used to be bigger, but they're so small now. So that was the one I allowed myself to treat. So kind of be in control of that part. And then, so these are the type of meals. So when I first started keto a couple of years ago, I made sure I was eating massive meals because you actually need them. So this is the type of meal I was eating. I don't eat as large meals as these now, but I actually kind of should. So this is rocket leaves. This is eggs. This kind of looks bad. This is rashers. This is mozzarella. There's some nuts in there. I don't, actually there's some pecans. Is there pecans? Oh, there's no pecans in that one. So there's a cucumber. I don't eat much cucumber. There's a tomato. Actually, I must get some cucumber. That's a good. There's chopped onion, chopped garlic, chopped ginger. Lots of raw stuff. So this is the kind of food I was eating. This is another meal. Now there's pecans in that. I don't actually eat them anymore because they've got quite a high carb count. So I kind of keep them out. This is chopped cheddar. This is a little bit of grated carrot. There in the middle there are olives, very good for your polyphenols. So there's lots of different, there's some pickled tomato, sun-dried tomato and stuff like that. So these are the type, now this is uncooked. These are like an omelet. So that's with eggs, mozzarella, blah, blah, blah. So the important thing is to get rid of the, this is an omelet. And that day I had sriracha sauce, but there's actually quite a lot of sugar in it, so I don't actually have it that often. So that that gives you a general idea of the type of food that I had. This is with avocados there, and walnuts, and eggs. So I was eating these huge meals to kind of compensate for not having carbs. So you will need to do that. So don't be hard on yourself at the beginning. Like I started on keto early yesterday morning, and I was 180 pounds. Today I'm 180 pounds, 0.8. So I'm actually heavier. Now, why is that? Well, there's actually mainly two reasons. One is that I was eating all day because I'm coming off of carbs, so I cannot go straight into full intermittent fasting, which for me would be around 18-6, 24. 24 is my best one. It suits me the best. And exercise. So yesterday I did a small walk. It was very small compared to my normal. It's about 7,000. I have not been walking at all. I'll just do the month there. I just do the month of December. This is the month of December for me. My walking was look at the bottom thing. My walking was very poor. Really poor. Is it the bottom one? Anyway. So anyway, I don't know what month. So my month was very poor for walking. I have been really dropping off the walking in the last few months, and I'm going to restart that now as well. So for weight loss, if you're only doing weight maintenance, you don't need the amount of walking. Obviously, for health reasons, it's better to walk. But for weight loss, you will need to up your walking and do the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. It'll actually help you as well, because getting out of the house, away from the kitchen, away from the food, in the early days, it really helped me. I was really great for the walking in the early days. I'll look back there in a sec. So get walking. Now, the intermittent fasting will come with time, so that'll take a little bit of time. When you make the switch, which should be after about 2 to 3 days on ketogenic diet, you will stink, and it'll be the ketones. That's the only time that happens. People say that people on ketogenic diet have a stinky breath, have stinky armpits. That's not true. It happens once. Everybody that I put on keto, it has happened once to them as well. And I even have been on carbs for several weeks. It won't happen to me again, because I'm already fat adapted. I'm not insulin resistant. I'm insulin sensitive. It just takes a bit of time to get back on. So the second reason that I have put on weight today is that I was up during the night. My blood sugar level dropped quite substantially because I'm getting back into keto. I am now, after running out of liver fat, so all of my glycogen and liver fat was probably from the beer and drink and Guinness and celebrations and refined carbs, is probably used up. So now my body has to work harder to convert my fat, my visceral fat first, which is the internal fat that's pushing out my belly here. This is the subcutaneous fat that's used last. So that's why you don't see any, when I'm doing keto now for weight loss. So when you're doing keto for weight loss, you're not really going to see the results early on, because it's using up the internal fat first. Always the fat around the organs and in the organs will be used first. Your liver fat always used first, and the glycogen. So my glycogen stores quite likely ran out yesterday evening. Usually takes 3 hours, but could take more if you have more glycogen. It's stored in your liver mainly and your muscles. So that's a short-term glucose that injects into your system when it starts to realize there ain't anything coming in, or else what's coming in I have to take a while to process, which is with keto food. It takes a while to process before it's gone back into your system. So my body is probably ran out of glycogen, and it had to switch. So because I've been on refined carbs and the quick glucose coming into my system for a while, my switch took a little bit longer, and I went down to 5.2 was my average for the CGM. See, I'm 4.6 there now. So my CGM was reading much lower. See, the line is down very close to the bottom, and actually went down under the bottom, if you see there with those dips a few times during the night. Let's just do the 6-hour one. You can see there that it really dipped down, and that's because my body was going into the switch of trying to use my fat. So I'm now probably in ketosis, which is I'm using my own fat, and I'm using the fat on the inside. The more I eat, the less of that fat, of course, is going to be used. So that's called nutritional ketosis. But so I could maintain my weight. But my desire is to lose weight. So I'm going to keep, that's why intermittent fasting matters, is that you are then not eating for more hours, and you're allowing your body more time to use up your own body fat. So that is what I'm aiming for. It's going to take a while. But right now I'm back into keto full, and I'm going to start now cutting down my eating window. So yesterday my eating window, like I said, was about 12-14 hours. Today it could be 11 or 12. Tomorrow I'm going to do it bit by bit, because I'm used to doing it, and then it's going to be maybe 10 in a couple of days and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep bringing it down. The most important thing for me to do today is to introduce more walking. So you have to kind of think about, what is it that you're trying to do? Are you doing nutritional ketosis, which means you're not losing weight, but you're maintaining your weight? And I can tell you, keto is amazing for that. That's why I, in 2 years, have not bounced back into being really, really heavy again. I have managed to maintain my weight, but I've put on 15-20 pounds over the last few months of heavy carb eating and drinking and whatever. And I had a very sedentary job, and I had stopped walking. So you kind of need to go back to that, and you need the walking, and if you're on weight loss. So I am doing weight loss because I have a wedding in April, and I want to lose 15 to 20 pounds by the 1st of April, hopefully, April Fools. So have a great day. Keep watching, and I will keep helping you with the ketogenic diet. And I'll try to do some other videos with the actual information on them as well. There's some great stuff out there. Talk to you soon. Bye.